Things continue by showing three new faces: Kaido, Haruki, and Shu. A girl cries, seeing their picture, and questions why this is happening. She calls for her mother and father, who have probably passed away in this zombie apocalypse. When the first guy in the picture, Shu, comes to calm her, he offers the girl a drink and assures her that everything will be alright from now on. He pats her head and tells her to get some rest for now. Shu's subordinate comes to him, whispering that they have come again. So she takes his leave from the girl, telling her that he has an emergency meeting to attend and promises to come back soon to hang out with her again. He tells her to wait until then, but the girl immediately starts trembling in fear, thinking about being all alone again. Seeing that, Shu holds her hand and again promises her that he will definitely come back soon. Then he and his team of gangsters grab some weapons along the way and head to fight with them. It's revealed that zombies have approached outside Shu's club and started to infect more people. So the day that Shu was talking about are the zombies. And he immediately tells all of his members to kill all of the zombies here before they can infect anyone else. Both parties engage in an endgame style battle, while Akira rides his bike only a few blocks away. He sees the view of the city and still thinks the view is quite beautiful. After having a proper look, Akira gets ready again, as he reveals that he has come here to save his friend Kincho. A flashback shows Akira shaving his pesky beard in the morning, but after seeing how good he looks, he thinks he should start keeping a beard, as he doesn't need to look professional anymore now that he has quit his job. But he wonders if he can get his beard to grow in a cooler way. So to make his unattractive beard acceptable to society, Akira uses a marker pen to draw a beard on his face. But even that looks pathetic, so he realizes that it is better not to grow a beard. So he scratches off the number 10 wish on his bucket list: grow a cool beard, as he physically cannot grow it. After getting refreshed, Akira wonders what he should do when suddenly his phone starts to vibrate. Akira looks at his phone and sees that multiple messages have suddenly started popping up, which means the network signal is somehow back instead of checking his message. Akira first sees if the internet is actually back up and is delighted to see that it is, so he scours the internet for a while and even tries to talk with his friends that he never had time to chat with. But even after waiting for hours, no one responds, and Akira realizes that the only reason they're not responding must be because they are not alive. He also realizes that the internet is back too, because most of the people have died and there is no longer any traffic on the network. He wonders if he shouldn't have worked overtime when everything was normal, as he could have spent more time with his friends. Akira remembers when one of his friends, Kincho, told him to just quit his tiring job. Akira knows that a guy like Kincho wouldn't die so easily, so he tries contacting Kincho to find out where he is right now. Meanwhile, Akira's friend Kincho reveals that he has locked himself inside a hotel room surrounded by many zombies. He gasps for breath and wonders if there is even a way for him to escape. As the zombies begin to break the door behind him, Kincho realizes that this is his end, as there is no other way out of here. He reveals that he has been locked inside this room for the past 3 days and hasn't had anything but water. An average human cannot survive a week without food, but that's not worrying Kincho, as he has bigger problems to deal with. He reveals that he has been stuck in here with a lady zombie, whom he luckily trapped inside some shackles thanks to being in a bandy's room. His vision begins to fade as he loses his energy to stay awake because of starvation, and he regrets dying like this. Kincho begins to see flashbacks of him playing with Akira when they were college buddies. He remembers that Akira was the only one who laughed at his stupid jokes. He wonders if he will ever get the chance to meet his old friend in the afterlife, when suddenly his phone starts to ring and he sees that it's Akira who is calling him. Akira wants to meet with Kincho, but Kincho explains that he is locked inside a hotel room in Shinjuku. Akira still decides to go there, knowing that the place must be swarming with zombies. Kincho tells him to just forget about him, but Akira isn't going anywhere without his friend, and cuts the call after telling Kincho to send his address. After getting the address, Akira immediately heads off to Shinjuku with his bike and tells us that back in college, he and Kincho were best buddies, and went through a lot together during those 4 years. He remembers Kincho as a handsome, cheerful guy who was also popular. After college, Kincho became a big-time real estate agent thanks to his natural talent for communication, while Akira was suffering with his office job. Akira remembers both of them talking inside a bar when Kincho bragged about how great his life is going and how he also has a girlfriend. Akira got jealous of Kincho, as he was suffering a lot and didn't have the patience to listen to other people's success stories. So he slowly pushed Kincho away from his life instead of quitting the hellish job. So Akira wants to repent by helping Kincho out in his desperate times. On the other side, Shu's gang fails to triumph against the zombies and Shu was the only one left standing. He realizes that this is his end. As a horde of zombies approaches him slowly to eat him, but as he gives up, the zombies get attracted to an alarming noise coming from the opposite direction and head that way. The noise is apparently coming from a car's horn that is parked in the middle of the road, and Akira reveals that he is the one behind it. He easily escapes the place after distracting the zombies and then heads to the hotel. Kincho also comes out of his room, wondering where all of the zombies went. He walks towards the elevator when Akira finally finds him and gets into tears. He apologizes to Kincho, telling him that he was right and he should have just quit his job. But Akira apologizes to Kincho for pushing him away from his life, and Kincho forgives him because of Akira's crying and shouting. Zombies get attracted to them again, so they start heading upwards and run to the roof. Akira manages to block the door using the air conditioning and then tells Kincho that their only way to escape is by jumping and leaping to the next building. He courageously jumps to the next building and shows that he indeed has balls of steel. But Kincho doesn't gain enough courage to jump off as he sees the huge height and length between the two buildings. So he starts backing off in fear of dying and chooses to die from being eaten by zombies rather than falling to his death. Realizing that he is about to give up on his life, Akira tells him not to, but Kincho thinks there is no other way and apologizes to Akira for making him go through so much trouble, only to not be able to save his friend in the end. As the zombies begin to use their force to break the rooftop door, Kincho wants to tell Akira something that he has been hiding for years. He reveals to Akira that all these years of boasting about his job were fake. In fact, the truth is that he never enjoyed his job at all. Kincho explains that day he had to smile at people while lying to their faces, which is exactly what real estate agents do. Anyway, Kincho reveals that he tricked his client into bad contracts, and that's how he got the praise from the higher-ups and his company's acknowledgement. Although because of his immense success Kincho dated many gorgeous models, he never felt it was right and that didn't make him happy at all. Kincho thinks that he is a horrible person for making Akira feel low and apologizes to him, but Akira forgives him, tells Kincho to move on from his past as this is the new era, and tells him to enjoy life once again. So Kincho decides to change his lifestyle and tells Akira how he always wanted a job where he could sincerely entertain his clients. So he chooses to become a stand-up comic and decides to live on to see that day. Akira also encourages Kincho to become whatever he wants and motivates him to jump off the building. So Kincho finally musters up enough courage in him and jumps off Spider-Man style. He even takes off his clothes, but since there is no suit beneath, he is left but naked. Akira starts to laugh at seeing Kincho joking around, and while he is busy laughing, Kincho fails to land on the building and only manages to hold onto the edge of the roof with his hands. Akira saves him from dying in time, and then later the two friends get naked together and reconcile with each other. Kincho tells Akira that he wants to pursue being a stand-up comedian one day if this apocalypse ends. Akira tells Kincho that he never expected him to cry out like a baby back then. And what surprised him more is that Kincho jumped off the buck naked too. Kincho says that his clothes were made of highly sophisticated material that was easy to get off, and he explains that he only took them off to celebrate his rebirth as an entertainer. Kincho then tells Akira a naked joke, so Akira asks why he always does naked jokes. Kincho explains that he likes it and decides to do more jokes from now on. He will become a stand-up comedian, which is his dream job. Kincho tells Akira how he repeatedly wishes to stand on a stage with a full audience watching him, so he asks Akira if he has any connections from work that can help him do stand-up comedy. But hearing the word work, Akira denies ever having done any work, implying that he has moved on from his life. Kincho reminds him that he was the one looking like a zombie when he was dying from working at the exploitative company. In fact, Akira even looked worse than the zombies back then. Akira gets a little hurt hearing that and tells Kincho that he can never be a stand-up comedian, but both of them know that they are just joking with each other and drinking beer together, enjoying the clear night view. Kincho again mentions how amazing Akira looked today, how daring he was. A guy who quits their job, drops everything and moves on with their life tends to be really successful later on, according to Kincho, so he believes both of them will also become super successful in their lives once the apocalypse is over. Kincho wonders if Akira will turn out to be an entrepreneur, an artist, or even the guy who saves humanity from the zombie apocalypse itself. Akira wonders if he wants to be that guy and tells Kincho that it's never going to happen as he doesn't think of himself as a hero. Both of them laugh again hysterically like old friends do, and Kincho comes up with a new bit for his stand-up comedy. Akira assumes that the bit probably involves him getting naked, and they both begin to laugh once again. That brings the episode to an end.